Told you before, it's always a nice sky at Besthorpe. Another trapping session this evening. Little gentle breeze, but a warm and muggy night is forecast. Those nights are certainly drawing in, but a lovely night, and hopefully a profitable night for moths awaits. And what a sky that is. It's an ever-changing sky. Beautiful. Time to think about getting set up and deciding whereabouts I'm going to trap. I'm unsure as to where that will be yet. It'll soon be time to switch the light on. It's the 30th of July today, and that means it's about 5 weeks since the last trapped here at Besthorpe, and what a night that was. Never have I seen so many insects around a light in all of my years trapping. We won't get that this evening. The number of moths will be less, the number of species will be less, and I think the number of insects will be considerably less. But it's still a very nice late July evening. Time for a cup of tea before we get going. Well, 21:30 is the start-up time here at Besthorpe Nature Reserve. The first few insects are already on the sheet, and most of them appear to be water boatmen. Hopefully we'll have a decent night. We've certainly got a lovely sky for it. It's an absolute belter of a sky. So we'll see what turns up. I have no idea really what to expect. It's such a funny year. Lots of species have finished early because of the fine weather, but they've had good breeding seasons. Let's see what comes in the next few hours. Well, not long been switched on, and the light is already attracting lots and lots of water veneers. That's what you can see flitting around the sheet here in this shot. And they're actually the most unmoth-like moth that we have really in the UK. And if you trap near water on a nice mild still night like we have here at Besthorpe this evening, you're going to get a lot of them. The sheet is very busy already, and most of them are water veneers. Well, that looks quite the picture. Fabulous sky yet again. Absolutely beautiful. There's a lot more insects coming to the light than I was anticipating, including my gang of trusty midges, which have once again followed us to Besthorpe. but it's still mostly water veneers on the sheet. There are a few other species of moths, and there's one terrific micro. It's an absolute beautiful thing, and I caught it recently at Loud Wood at Ekrin, and it's Neocochialis hybridella. It's absolutely beautiful when fresh, quite distinctive as well. There are a number of similar sort of, well, they used to be called Cochialis species until some taxonomists decided that Cochialis wasn't a long enough name and changed it to Neocochialis. They do like to muck around with these things. And so that's a nice moth for here. Otherwise, have a quick look through the thing. Dingy Footman Cloaked Miner as an early thorn, second brood in. That's a moth that we'll be seeing next March or so. Flame Shoulder, Ruby Tiger, just the one at the moment. Shuttle-shaped dart, which is having a good year by all accounts. The first Flounce Rustic of the year. It's not a very spectacular moth at all. It is quite nicely marked, but I will put a photo in to show it, but it's nothing to get totally excited about. There's a smoky wainscot knocking about, and otherwise there's a selection of about 7 or 8 micro moths at the moment. The sky is just about getting to be completely dark now. Still a bit of twilight low down in the northern sky, and it's an absolute beautiful evening with lots of insects. Because I've got a moth in a pot, normally it would mean that it's something special, but it isn't. It's just a sallow kitten. But there is something unusual about sallow kitten that I found in the last few days, and I've had it several times as the adult, both here and at Miss and Carr recently. But I've also seen 2 full-grown larvae in the last instar, and a first instar larva too. So presumably at the moment it's found in all 4 stages of its life cycle. It's normally double brooded, but I just wonder whether this species is one of a number which will chuck in a partial extra brood. Something that moths and butterflies can sometimes do in favourable years. And this year, of course, is a favourable year. It's hard to say where we are with some moths, to be honest, in terms of their sort of life cycles and single broods or double broods. But at least this year, we've all had plenty of moths. It's been a brilliant year for moth trapping. I don't think many people expected the numbers of moths to be as high as they are. I didn't. I thought it would be better than previous years, and without a doubt it has been. But at the same time, it's been a strange year, and there's odd records that 2025 keeps throwing up. Here's one that's just come in. You may think, well, what's remarkable about an elephant hawk moth? But this is the 30th of July, and this chap is in absolutely mint condition. Whether this is a partial second brood, it appears to only have 1 antenna, but otherwise it's fabulous. I didn't expect to see elephant hawk moth because I thought they'd be long gone now, because I know that people have been finding the larva or full-grown larva on fuchsias in the gardens or on willow herb. So for this to turn up is quite surprising. This may well be my latest ever elephant hawk moth, and it's certainly my latest ever in this condition. It's a beauty. So it's just strange what can occur. Nice to see one of these again, because I thought that we're done with these in the adult stage until next year? Apparently not. Oh, 2 moths in 2 pots, which as normal means that these are of interest. One, I certainly know what it is. It's tree lichen beauty. I'll put a photo in rather than disturb this moth now. I'm just after some better photographs, and this is almost certainly the first record for Besthorpe. First turned up in Nottinghamshire as recently as 2018, and it's gone great guns since. It's definitely breeding in Nottinghamshire, there's no doubt about that, and it's a fabulous thing. Another one of those moths that has done remarkably well across the southern half of the UK in recent years. So that's a nice one to get, tree lichen beauty. I know you can't see it a great deal in that, but you'll have seen the photo, and the photo is far better than looking at it in a pot. The other moth, you might be able to just make out the shape there, is one of the ear moths. Chances are it is the ear moth. There are at least 3 other species if I remember offhand, and I'm not sure whether they've all been seen in Nottinghamshire, but certainly another couple have, and not too far as the ear moth flies from here, so potentially this could be one of the rarer ear moths. Although this species seems to be having a good year. Someone reported a number of them the other day, and other people have caught them as well this year, but it's never been a species that Dilys and I ever trapped a great deal. We've only had a handful of records, and this is my first record for a long time, as far as I can remember. So that needs to go back to be checked and determined to see exactly which ear moth it is. So, very nice pair of moths there. The moths are continuing to come in. Nothing particularly unusual. I've got a few species to take back, but there's not many micros tonight. I thought there would be. I thought we'd get quite a few because it started off well for micros, but not now. And we're approaching 60 species, so we've not done bad at all. Well, here's another record which, well, it's astounded me. This is an eyed hawk-moth. And again, to me, this is very, very late. It's coming just a few minutes after the poplar hawk-moth, which is knocking around the sheet somewhere. I didn't expect to see eyed hawk-moth. Absolutely stunning moth, and I'll show you how, if you don't know how they get the name. There we go, peekaboo, what a thing. And it's more or less immaculate condition, just a little chunk taken out of the tip of the right hand wing there, but this is a surprising record to me. Very surprising. And a nice one too. Very, very nice. What a moth. We're gone 1 o'clock in the morning, and a couple of minutes ago I had every intention of just doing one more piece to camera just to sort of round up the last few species which have dropped in. And I was just looking at the sheet, at the moths on the sheet, and there in front of me sat this chap. This is a vestal. This is one of the migrants that I personally dream about, because it's not a common migrant in Nottinghamshire, never has been. We're lucky if we get 1 record a year, to be honest, and I'm absolutely overjoyed at this. This is definitely, for me personally, the best migrant year since 2006, and this is another species that increases that tally. I'll put photos in of this. I'm going to take it back and get some fresh photos of Vestal. It's a lovely moth. It's a pale sort of sandy colour, and then there's some pinkish line that, well, on either of the forewings. Doesn't look much in a pot, but I couldn't believe it. I sat gawping at it for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then I realised you need a pot. So this has just sneaked in all of a sudden. I don't know what to do now. Do I have another cup of tea and stop? But to be honest, I'm quite happy with what I've got in the sort of 3.5 hours, nearly 4 hours time I've packed up. There's been some nice moths, nothing particularly exciting, until this turned up. Just goes to show, you never know what this hobby is going to throw at you. You don't know what's going to land on your sheet. Absolutely brilliant. It's lovely to see Vestal again. So it'll have to be another look around the sheet, and then I'll probably think about packing up. Might have a cup of tea first though. Brilliant. I love this hobby. Well, the other night at Missing Car, I ended the session with a handful of poplar Hawk-moths. Bit more of a selection this evening, with poplar Hawk-moth here, eyed Hawk-moth here, elephant Hawk-moth here, and another eyed Hawk-moth. 2 eyed Hawk-moths. Who'd have thought that as we approach August? I certainly didn't. I didn't expect this elephant Hawk-moth, because I'd considered looking on some willow herb as I drive home for the larva of elephant Hawk-moth. But 3 fabulous moths, 2 fabulous moths, 3 if you include the one that's hiding behind. But what a session it's been too. Absolutely brilliant. Highlight without a doubt is Vestal, and I could sit here for another hour or so, but I'm happy enough with the time spent catching moths that I've had, and by the time I've packed everything up, unlocked and unlocked the gate, it'll be past my bedtime and I need my beauty sleep. I won't be getting up till about September.